Okay, and the 8th category, the final category, is the wayfarer. The wayfarer. Who is the wayfarer? When I first heard this word in English, I had no idea what it meant. I had to look up in the dictionary. It means the person who is traveling away from his home and he doesn't have any money now. He might be a millionaire in his territory, but right now he doesn't have any money. Now remember, in the good old days, you had to travel with your money. Okay? There weren't bank accounts and your ATM cards, and wherever you are, you can take money out, credit cards. No. You had to travel with your money. So suppose your money finishes or someone steals all of your money. What are you going to do then? So these type of people, they are allowed to be given zakah. You can give zakah to people who are wayfarers. In other words, they have cut off their source of income at that present time. These are 8 categories. Are they clear? Okay. Whatever category you give to, you should only give to as much as they need, and don't go beyond that. So suppose a wayfarer, let me give you a practical example. You meet a guy, he tells you, suppose, he came from, well, this is common more in Saudi Arabia than anywhere. They came for Umrah, they came for Hajj. I mean, you really don't meet wayfarers that much over here. But in Saudi Arabia, you always meet these type of people. They came for Hajj, right? And someone stole their money, or they lost their money. So these people, you give them zakah to get home. You give them zakah for plane tickets home, right? But you don't give them more than that. Okay? So for example, if the plane ticket costs 2,000 riyals, or let's say, $1,000, okay, or $700, right? You don't give them $2,000 to go first class, zakah money, for example. Nor do you give them more what they need. You give them the bare minimum what they need, enough for their food and water until they depart, and then travel expenses. Okay? Likewise, the poor person. If he is poor and he needs, let's say, $5,000, okay, to give his rent, okay, you don't give him 20 or 30,000. You only give him the bare minimum. Just common sense. You give him what he needs. You don't give him more than that. You give him what he needs. All of these 8 categories. The last section that we're going to discuss, these are 8 categories that we give to, okay. Before we move on, 5 of them, you only give when they are literally poor. And these are obviously the faqir, the miskeen, the slave, the one who is in debt, and the wayfarer. They don't have money. Obviously, faqir and miskeen by definition doesn't have money. But, for example, the slave, it is possible that the slave might have money. It is possible that the slave, for example, his master will say, you can work 2 hours of the day. Okay? And whatever you earn in 2 hours is yours. So over a period of time, he has enough money to free himself. In that case, you are not allowed to give him zakah. Why? Because he has the money. Likewise, the one who has a debt. Well, many people have debt, but they can pay it off. Can you give zakah to such a person? No. Only when he really doesn't have the money, and likewise the wayfarer, the traveler, only when he does not have the money can you really give him zakah. The others, you cannot give them to, if they are, excuse me, what did I say? 5 of them you can only give to when they are poor. The other 3, even if they have money, even if they are rich, you can give them money. Who are these 3? The mujahid, the mu'allafati qulubuhum, and the workers, exactly. Amiluna. Very good. These 3, even if they are rich, you can give them zakah money. Okay? The mujahid, even if he has enough money to purchase it for himself, but because of the fact that he's doing jihad, we're allowed to give him money, extra money, to buy more stuff, or to buy a better horse, or whatever. We're allowed to give him money. Okay? Also, the one that is collecting the zakah, he's also allowed to take zakah. What was the third person? Mu'allafati qulubuhum. Okay? The mu'allafati qulubuhum is that even if that person might be rich, if you think that giving him more money was going to cause him to come close to Islam, then they are allowed to take money. Actually, the scholars also say that the gharim, he's also allowed to take money if he's rich. So actually that brings it up to 4 people. The gharim, he's also allowed to take zakah if he's rich. Who is the gharim? Yeah, but in one sense, okay, let's make a tafsir. Right, exactly. The reconciliation one can. How about the one that's in debt, normal debt? No. The one that's taken on a debt that's not his to cause reconciliation, this is the one that you can give zakah to. The one that has a personal debt, if he is rich, then you don't give him zakah. Whereas the one that's taken on the reconciliation, that even if he is rich, then you can give him zakah. Because that's not his debt in the first place. He took it on to cause reconciliation between these two tribes. Is that clear? So basically, of these 8 categories, right? Of these 8 categories, 5 of them can only be given zakah when they physically don't have the money, and 4 of them can be given zakah even if they are rich. Well, 5 plus 4 is 9, so how do we get 8? The gharim we divide into 2 categories, right? We said the gharim is of 2 types. One of them is he who causes reconciliation between people, and the second is the one that is in debt. So the one that causes reconciliation, you can give him money even if he's rich, and the one that is in his own personal debt, you can only give him money if he is not rich. So we move on to the last section, and alhamdulillah, we would then have finished with the chapter of zakah at our level. Obviously, this is a very brief discussion. Apart from this, one of the best discussions of zakah is the PhD dissertation by the famous scholar of our times, Yusuf al-Qaradawi, who unfortunately changed his manhaj after he wrote the PhD, but his PhD is excellent. It's all about, it's called Fiqh of Zakah. It's a 2-volume, this thick PhD dissertation that he did at Azhar, and it is considered to be one of the best books written on this topic. Really a good book. So we covered in 1 hour what he spent the whole PhD doing. So I'm just trying to show you, don't think that khalas, we finished all we need to know. No, I'm just going over quickly what we need to know, so we know how to deal with zakah. And like I said, I encourage all of you to go back and do your own research. The last section that we're going to do quickly is who you cannot give zakah to. Who can hazard a guess firstly who you cannot give zakah to? Non-Muslims, very good. Number 1, non-Muslims, except one category. No. مُؤَلَّفَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ. Okay, those ones, yeah. The مُؤَلَّفَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ, you can give them zakah. Guys. Okay. So the first thing is non-Muslims. Non-Muslims, you are not allowed to give zakah to non-Muslims. Unless the one category, مُؤَلَّفَةِ قُلُوبُهُمْ, and we said that in our times we should not take this responsibility. This is the responsibility of the Islamic State. So for our purposes, we cannot give zakat to a rich, what am I saying? A non-Muslim. The second person we cannot give zakat to is a rich person, except for the 4 categories we mentioned. Okay? The second is a rich person. The third is